What's happening, Beat Hustlers? Welcome back to the Beat Influence YouTube channel. I'm your host, Ankerstein. In today's video, guys, I want to talk to you guys about something that I get asked about all the time, and that's about podcast networks. So in this video today, we're going to be talking about whether or not it's worth joining a podcast network. Alright guys, so before we dive into whether or not a podcast network is right for you and whether or not you should join one, we have to first explore what is one, right? So what is a podcast network? So a podcast network is essentially a group of podcasters that come together, form a big group, and the network's job is to go out and try to get you sponsorship deals with a company, right? And so the company might have a message that they're really wanting to share. They might want to build up brand awareness and get more people into their services. And as a result, as a podcaster associated with that network, a lot of times you'll hear an advertisement at the beginning of each show or sometimes at the end, right? So if you listen to a couple famous podcasts, sometimes they say, "Hey guys, this is Matthew Ankerstein from BeatInfluence.com. Thanks so much for listening to the podcast today. In this episode, guys, where it's actually brought to you by such and such company. If you're looking for such and such company, if you're looking for these products or services, be sure to get in contact with them. They're really great to deal with. The customer service is amazing," and so forth, right? So essentially, that's what a podcast network is. They essentially have sponsorships. They have media outlets or companies associated with them that you advertise for them on your podcast, right? So what are some of the benefits of joining a podcast network? Well, I kind of mentioned this and I alluded to this a little bit before, but essentially a podcast network, when you join one, is you have the availability to make some money, right? And I know a lot of times with people, that when they first get started podcasting, the first question they ask is, how do I make some money at this thing, right? So if you join a podcast network, you're going to have the opportunity to do some sponsorships and you can make some money doing episode to episode. And it's really going to be dependent upon, how your podcast network is structured and how they want to reimburse you for doing those advertisements, right? Sometimes a company will, or the network will actually pay you for every single time you do an episode. So it could be like a flat fee of $50 or $25, really dependent on that, right? There could be also a certain percentage, so the effectiveness of your campaign or how many people listen to it itself. So there's many different ways how you can get paid for advertising on your podcast like that, right? So another benefit of joining a podcast network is you're going to be able to connect with other podcasters out there. I know a lot of podcasters are always looking to increase their downloads, right? How do I get into more people? How do I find more? How do I get more customers, right? And, I think that joining a podcast network can open up a lot of doors of opportunity. When you join one, you're basically joining a group of podcasters, right? So what do you know about that? You know that they listen to podcasts, right? You know that they're already producing one, so they're probably already listening to other shows, maybe in your niche or in other niches. So, if you join a podcast network, you're going to have the opportunity to see your downloads increase as a result because a lot more people are going to become more familiar with you and all those types of things. And then thirdly, based on that same idea, you can do some collaborative work. I know a lot of podcasters, when you're first getting started out, guys, you're always looking for guests, right? You're emailing people, you're going to live events, you're doing everything you can to get another guest for your show. And so when you join a network and you can find someone else that's in your niche, you can invite them onto your show, you can go onto theirs, you guys can cross-promote, and you can do a lot of that good stuff, right? So you're going to see an increase in your downloads just simply from working with other people and just being exposed to more people in general, right? So you're gonna be able to make some money. You're gonna be able to make some money. You're gonna get more doors of opportunity open up to you for downloads and everything like that in regards to more people seeing your show and everything. And then lastly is that if you join a podcast network, you have the opportunity to get some doors of opportunity. And some pretty big deals too, I reached out to a couple people that were joining some other podcast networks out in Canada here and some places in the States. And one of the things I found out was some of the people that were in these networks, they were in talks with one guy out actually in Toronto I talked with on the phone for about half an hour. He said to me that his podcast is actually being considered for Sirius satellite radio. And the network was actually going on advertising them for them, right? That's incredible. It's incredible, right? 5-10 years ago, people didn't even know what podcasts were. Now people that are producing shows are getting the opportunity to be on Sirius satellite radio and all those other types of things. Another guy I actually spoke with down in Calgary, him and I were talking for a bit, and he said, I've seen a major increase into the amount of downloads we're getting. And I asked them, well, why are you seeing all these downloads? I said, is it because you're being associated with the network? Is it because you're talking with other podcasters? Like, why are you seeing such a major increase? And he said, the network is actually going out and advertising for us on online radio shows, and my podcast is being aired all around the net because of it. And what's happening is because more people are becoming exposed to it, more people will become aware, and more people are ultimately going to check them out now, right? So, joining a podcast network, guys, has so many benefits like I talked about. Collaborative work, download increases, serious satellite radio potentially, right? So there's a lot of different doors of opportunity there. So now you're probably wondering, well, this sounds great, like everybody should join a network, right? Everybody should join a network. But here's the catch, it's not for everybody. And so some of the negatives is that people are a little bit hesitant to joining because they don't think the network is going to provide any valuable or service. They don't think the network is going to go out and stand up for them and try to get them on Sirius Satellite Radio. They don't think the network is going to go out and do other online advertisements to help drive people to their podcasts. And I think a lot of people are hesitant to joining because they think that the network isn't going to stand up for them, help grow them, and grow the network and all the podcasters associated, right? So that's one of the reasons why people don't join podcast networks. Another reason is because I think a lot of podcasters feel like they're giving up control. And what I mean by that is, when you're first getting started in podcasting, a lot of times people ask, well, how do you make money, right? How do you make some money at this? And I think when you're first getting started out, you have all the control. You hold all the cards. But when you're having to give out an advertisement for a sponsor through the network, it might feel like you're giving up control. But, there's kind of a trade-off there, if you will, right? So for somebody that's maybe looking to create their own product, maybe if you're looking to do your own online courses, maybe you'd be better to be selling advertisements and advertising your own products or services on your podcast, right? So sometimes people don't really join podcast networks because they don't want to advertise for somebody else. They'd rather advertise some of the products or services that they're selling. And then with that idea as well, sometimes people just, the network sponsors aren't in alignment with who their audience is, right? Sometimes they just think, oh, well, this is such and such company. They don't really resonate with me. They don't really resonate with who is listening to my show on a weekly basis or daily basis for the matter, right? So sometimes people are a little hesitant because they're like, whoa, like, this isn't what my audience is. They're not going to see the value or service in this. A lot of times people will be a little hesitant to be doing those advertisements because they're not in alignment with their company goals and vision. They're not in alignment with who their audience is and who they're trying to targeting. And a lot of times podcasters would be probably just better off going out, building a one-on-one relationship with a potential company and then selling that advertisement slot and then probably earning a premium because they have a stronger relationship with their audience, and because that they know it's more in alignment, you're going to have a higher quality lead coming through. And if more people are listening to it, the company's going to see value in that because they see, oh, we have a larger opportunity to sell more people in this on this advertisement platform compared to here, right? So they'd probably be willing to pay a premium for that. So that's some of the pros and cons when joining a podcast network, right, guys? There's obviously lots of pros or lots of cons. At the end of the day, you have to do what's right for you. What's going to be right for your show? What's going to really resonate with your audience overall, right? And what I would highly encourage everybody to do, basically, is not just to join a podcast network for the sanctity of joining a podcast network, because it's a cool thing to do nowadays. Really do your due diligence. Really understand what you're getting yourself into, because when you understand what you're getting yourself into, you understand the trade-offs associated, what are the benefits and everything, right? And so you can make a more educated guess. Alright guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit that like button down below. You could also share it on social media and everything like that as well. And I'd highly encourage you guys, if you guys are looking for more content dealing with online marketing, dealing with podcasting, email marketing, search engine optimization, and like social media, be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel, because we're going to be going a lot more in depth with a lot of different techniques, strategies, and everything like that to help you grow your business to the next level.